I hope everybody had a good Christmas, holidays, etc. Thanks for everybody who attended the Christmas evening space. That was a lot of fun and excitement. It showed us that we had at least 70 or I think at one point 100 active Christmas evening DJs. So good to hear, good to see. Um, the Trezor Ledger giveaway on the ACYC Reflectors page will end tonight. The remainder of the winners will be picked tonight. If you don't know what that is, on the ACYC underscore reflectors page, which is kind of our community slash meme page, we're running a giveaway for 10 uh, ledgers or treasures, whichever you prefer. All you have to do is like, retweet, comment three friends, and follow the main page as well. We still have a few of those to give away, so you have until basically another hour before the rest of the winners are picked. And if you have cash tag ACYC in your name or in the bio, you could get some ACYC sent to that once you receive it. Cool. So, Bogger, do you or Nathan want to talk about the website update?
Yeah, we could start with talking about the website update. I think Nathan has some good stuff cooking there.
Yeah, let's do it. What's up, everyone? I'm an advisor and the web developer at ACYC, and we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes the past couple weeks, actually, just trying to get all the data in one place, getting it as fast as possible on the dashboard and everything. So it's been a bit of a challenge because we have like yield farming on one chain over here, and then we have swing trading on another chain over here. And I think I've actually talked about in a previous space some of the data availability issues with Ethereum. And like mainnet already has enough issues, but it's still a lot easier to get kind of the data you want, like relative to Arbitrum or Optimism or these other EVM chains or layer twos that we're farming on. So I think it's going to be probably a little bit longer, but we're just trying to make sure it's done right. And even though it's going to be like a custom in-house solution that might even need, we have to run some of our own custom nodes on some of these networks. We're going to do it right. We're going to get it done. And yeah, we're making a lot of good progress so far. So the treasury balance on the dashboard is actually lower than the actual amount, but we just need to perfect the indexing of data on these other chains. And tonight we're going to work on actually hard coding some of those balances in the meantime, and then we're going to slowly roll out like automatic indexing. Another thing is that we're actually going to have we're going to make our API public for where we pull that data, so you can actually build your own dashboards. You can plug our data into your spreadsheets. You can see our balances, our APY, and everything like that. And then do whatever you want with that data. So that'll also be documented in the new documentation, which is long overdue, and that's also on the way, which we're working with our wonderful designer, Blockchain Boy, on getting the site redesigned over the next week. So we're really looking forward to that. So a lot going on both the design side and also just the data side. So yep.
Yeah, so we're really excited as Nathan touched on. The treasury balance hasn't been reflective up to this point of what's going on in the treasury. The treasury is in profit. The treasury is growing. We're really excited about that. It's just been some issues getting those different chains on there, but we do have solutions for that. We're also going to be integrating the NFT side of ACYC's collection, which we're calling the Atlas side of it. So Atlas, the dashboard integration for Atlas should be live soon as well. And those positions that we've taken are already up significantly for the most part, which is really bullish to see. And yeah, so that'll be great on the site as well. So look forward to seeing the treasury grow visually, even though it's already there in substance.
Yeah, totally. There's going to be a tab on the dashboard coming tonight actually for Atlas, where you can actually view all the NFTs as like a grid-like view, and the floor prices for all of them and all that good stuff. So that's another thing to look forward to tonight.
Sick. And then since none of our farmers are here on the chat right now, I'll speak for them. Penny bags are medium to low risk, low reward farmer. Is cooking up a nice Medium article for us that should be out in the next couple of days. It'll basically just be outlining everything that he's doing, the strategies he's taking, the wins he's incurred, and how he'll be allocating the funds going forward. I know he mentioned to us that even though Ethereum is falling, his pools are yielding more Ethereum for us. He said some number I won't mention, but more on that should be out in the next couple of days in the form of a Medium article. So excited to hear that back from him. We are still reflecting ACYC manually. I believe up to date, Bogert, correct me if I'm wrong, we've reflected about 150K of ACYC.
Yeah, I think that's right. 150 to 180K, depending.
Cool. So that means we have about 150 to 120K left of ACYC to reflect manually up into the new year. So that's exciting to hear as well too. And you'll be able to see those reflections hit your, amounts, or you'll be able to see that reflect in your total ACYC directly after they happen and as the days progress. And then we'll touch on Dione in a moment. We'll also touch on Atlas, the new NFT account, in a moment as well, and some of the things that we're planning to do with both of those. But first, I want to touch on ACYC as a token itself currently. I cannot stress enough that ACYC as a token is pretty much unlike anything that is out at the moment. Yes, we are going to specialize in farming as a service, and yes, we are going to have risk-adjusted trading strategies. But as far as tokenomics go, there's not really any other tokens out on the market right now that are going to function the same way that ACYC does. For example, there are tokens there where their treasury has, let's just say, or let's not just say, point out the number. Their treasuries have $40 to $45 million, and their token market cap is $40 to $45 million. So they have $1 million in the treasury, and the market cap is also $40 million. As you look at ACYC and be like, wow, ACYC has 1.5 mil or mil in the treasury, and market cap is 20 mil. Like, their market cap is 10x the price of their treasury. Is that not overvalued? But this goes right back into our tokenomics. So when you're comparatively with those two projects, when you look at treasury to market cap, you would think that ACYC might be overvalued, or you think that the other token is undervalued. But it all plays down back into tokenomics. With the other token, or tokens that are similar to the one I just mentioned, holders are rewarded with more tokens. So let's just say the project's name is, let's just say the project's name is Pandora. So Pandora has $40 million in their treasury, and their market cap is $40 million. Pandora rewards their holders by letting their holders stake Pandora tokens to get more Pandora tokens. So what happens is you buy Pandora tokens and you stake them, and you might get like 70,000% APY, annual percent yield, or just say that's 7,000 X on your Pandora. So if you stake one Pandora, you're projected to get 7,000 Pandoras back by the end of the year. But what that project would do is they would mint those Pandoras. So the token supply is infinite. They can continuously mint Pandoras, and yes, you will get 7,000 Pandoras over the year, but those are just being minted. It's a race bottom. Even if the market cap goes to 100 mil, which would be a 2.5x, you could still be down on your investment because they're just minting tokens to reward you. It's almost like fake money. You're getting fake money back to make it seem like you are being rewarded, when in reality there is no cash reward. It's Ponzi-nomics. When it comes to ACYC, we have a finite supply, which means there will only ever be 1 trillion tokens. And so we will not be minting tokens. There will never be more tokens than there are now. And the way that holders rewarded are won by reflections. So when somebody buys ACYC, 10% of their buy is reflected across all ACYC holders. But longer term, 50% of all of our farming profits will be used to market buy ACYC and reflect those out. So we'll actually be putting money, we'll actually be market buying tokens off of the market, putting money to it, and inflating the value, or not inflating, giving value to the token with Ethereum or whatever it takes to market buy the token off of the market. So I hope that little example makes a little bit of sense of how we could have a $20 million market cap and $2 million in our treasury, and other projects could have $40 million in their treasury and a $40 million market cap. It's just funny money. It doesn't exist. It's Ponzi-nomics 101. Not calling anybody out, just explaining why this is a little bit more ambitious than anything else, because we are rewarding people with the profits that we yield, as opposed to giving out more tokens of our own token. If that makes any sense, study. And I think 6 months down the line, when we're buying, 100K worth of tokens, every day or every other day off the market, and people see how quickly the price rises, they'll understand why long term this is a better solution. But just wanted to let everybody know, basic DeFi 101 on the difference between how we derive value compared to others. Cool. So let's transition from there into Dione. For those who don't know, Dione is we have currently three risk-adjusted trading strategies, each named after a planet that is revolving around Saturn. So Pan is our algorithm that we created that decides whether or not to buy newly created tokens or listed tokens on Uniswap. And that's Pan. Pan is, put a penny in, try to get a dollar out. Dione is an algorithm that also assists a trader. So Dione, the algorithm that assists a trader, is an algorithm that if a new and trending token dips 30 to 50% in an hour, or even dips further the next hour, Dione will automatically buy. So if anybody here was watching SOS, you noticed that maybe while you were asleep, SOS dipped 50%, in an hour or two. And by the time you woke up, it was either at an all-time high or it had, gone up 50%. Dione is there to make sure that we are always capitalizing on those gains, whether or not we're asleep or at the keyboard. And so that's what Dione does, but Dione actually assists the trader. Currently, I'm taking the helm of, filling in that little gap. At the moment, anybody with, solid experience in trading could assist Dione. Dione does most of the purchasing, and I just pick when to sell. But Dione is a massive success as well. We don't need to speak much on Pan because Pan speaks for herself, but Dione is also a massive success. I think we ended the wallet with about 60 or 65 Ethereum, and over the last 4 days alone, we took in a profit of about 16 Ethereum. So over the last 4 days, we've gotten about a 25% return on the entire stack of Ethereum, and most of the time the trades are not using all 60 Ethereum. So Dione has gotten a return of about 25% over the last 4 days. And there's been plenty of opportunities that weren't hit. It's the holidays, wasn't manning the station as much, but you should see those consistent returns over the next few months as well. So yeah, Dione 16 Ethereum profit over the last 4 days alone, which is about 25%, which is absolutely unheard of for such a large amount of Ethereum. So, 60 Ethereum is about, let's just say it's 4K each. 60 Ethereum is about 240K. So 25% of 240K is roughly a lot. Just kidding. It's I think it's roughly 70K. So 70K in the last 4 days. I don't know anybody else who is, getting returns like that. And if you look at Dione's trades, Dione is just taking the calculated 20 to 30% gains on stuff that's dipping, or buying uptrending tokens and cutting them for quick profits. As always, though, I would never suggest copy trading Dione unless you're comfortable with what you see and you're making an educated decision. Otherwise, I would not copy trade Dione. You might fall asleep and Dione will not. So that's Dione. Dione's seen 25% over the last 4 days, and that's not including any SOS profits brought in from Dione. And we should see a lot more going over the next few days as well. Right now, we're in a general market accumulation phase or consolidation phase. So also to go with like the price of ACYC and pretty much every other your favorite tokens, you'll notice that any chance that they have to go up in value gets crushed because when you see Ethereum or Bitcoin or the entire market, tank, and you've got a winner. Usually, even though that's not the correct steps, some people take profits on their winners, which might be a good decision in the short term, but in the long term, it's not. But the entire market's in an accumulation consolidation phase. Everyone's a little confused. Do we cut losses before the end of the year for tax loss harvesting, or do we buy back in at the beginning of the new year? Doesn't matter. Either way, we are going to see steep and sharp up movements to the upside or the downside, and both of those will be profitable for all of our treasury holdings. So we're excited as those should be coming around in January, probably about the second or third week. So excited to see where that heads. Then moving into Atlas. Atlas is our newly announced NFT fund. I personally lent 100 Ethereum, so at the time, probably about 400K to the Atlas fund. If you were here in the last space, if you're a DGen and you were here on Christmas evening and were listening to this last space, I know you heard me talk about how I felt that, NFT season was coming back around, and lo and behold, 2 days later, just about every single project 2x'd. And that pretty much confirmed that it's on. And like, once again, you will be able to see what Atlas has bought. I know Atlas bought Wolfgang Sheep, and that's up to 0.5x, something like that. I know there's some other things that Atlas bought that are up 10, 20, 30, 40%, even more. There's some others that are up 2x more. And then there's some that, are pretty much break even or right below. Please, when you look at the wallet, don't copy trade just to copy trade. Like, look at the holdings if you're going to look at Atlas's wallet, because it's the same thing happened to me when I had an NFT wallet. I would buy something and people would message me, or like, I bought 50 mutants when mutants were 4 Ethereum. And I had a bunch of people message me like, what's the bullish news on mutants? Or, when can I cash out and what price? And I tell them, I look at it like a chart. Mutants were, 8 Ethereum literally 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And now they're 4. It's minus 50%. I'm buying the blood. I don't know any news. The team's still here. The team is building. I'm going to sell in the profit, and that's my goal. Same thing with Atlas. Some people say, oh, well, if I wanted to trade NFTs, I wouldn't have bought ACYC. If anybody in the DeFi space had an idea on how to trade NFTs or how to gauge the market, they would have allocated a lot of their funds. And some of the DeFi funds or some of the multiverse funds are buying NFTs, because the best thing about NFTs is you can just buy the dip, and if it dips again, buy a little bit more. But for the most part, as long as you're not being dumb, as long as you're picking a solid team with a solid community and buying like extreme blood, all you have to do is sit on your hands. All you have to do is sit on your hands. I bought mutants for 4 Ethereum. I sat on my hands. They're now 10 Ethereum. That's a 2.5x. And when I bought mutants, everything else at that time is down like 50 to 90% right now. Just because I bought a good team that was on a dip. Same thing with every other purchase in the Atlas wallet. They're great teams. They're on a dip. It's the name of the game. And if we sell them for 2x, beautiful. If we sell them for 5x, amazing. If we sell them for 20 to 30%, even better. They are just low effort gains where we can shove a bunch of money somewhere, because we're in a stage where you can throw a bunch of money somewhere and just look away. And when stuff is in the green, you can sell. You can yield those gains without having to manage charts, without having to hear about FUD. If anybody here knows about NFTs, which I can see from the chat, a lot of people do. Really, overnight FUD for NFT projects does not accumulate out of anywhere. Most of the founders are active. Most of the founders are traceable. Like, they're not going to argue. There's no real way to rug an NFT. So there's not much worry. There's not much speculation apart from whether or not it's a good time to buy or not. So we put about 100 Ethereum. I think we've deployed 70 or 80 of the 100 Ethereum so far. And some of the things that we bought, we are also planning on them going down before we can even buy more. It's just there's not enough on the market to buy as many as we'd like. So we are waiting for the price to go down before accumulating even more. Excited to announce those returns. As Nathan said, we should be able to show a general idea of what we're holding in there. Like I said earlier, don't use that as a guideline on what you should buy, because we have different timelines. And then one last thing to like point out, we are not a DAO. We are not a fund that is going to buy NFTs and ask the community when to sell them or ask the community what to buy. We are in the business of making profit for our treasury. We are not in the business of buying and holding something because that can lead to be very unprofitable. We'll cut losses, we'll take gains. We're going to trade it just like we trade everything else. So yeah, just wanted to let everybody know, like, we are not a DAO. We are not going to buy and hold. We are going to buy and sell for a profit. We are profit maximalists. And let me see how many people are in here real quick. So I don't know. Cool. So we got 112. Let me look at the faces. Yeah, we'll bring it out here. So also, some big brain, thinking behind it. We think about everything. Everything's thought of. Like we've always said, the price go to zero, and we'd end up buying the tokens from you guys because we're so profitable, or we'll be so profitable. So with like the NFTs as well, like, yes, we're going to make profit, and yes, we are going to buy and actively sell. There's two other big strategic wins that we get from opening an NFT fund, which is like two of the main reasons that we all decided together and I funded an NFT fund for our project. One, ACYC Holdings is our name. Every time we buy, ACYC Holdings will show up. Every time we sell, ACYC Holdings will show up. When people see us buying low and selling high, they'll be like, oh, wow, ACYC knows something, huh? Or when they see us, cut a loss real quick before shit tanks, they'll look back and they'll say, oh my God, ACYC knew, I don't know how. It's the same thing as everything. People will look at us and be like, wow, these guys are on their shit. These guys know something, and it'll attract another crowd. We already have a big NFT crowd, but it'll attract even more people to say, hey, I don't know much about DeFi, but I want exposure to DeFi. Maybe this project that knows about NFTs, knows about DeFi, knows about algorithms, knows more than I do. Maybe I should invest in ACYC. So that's the first of two main reasons we started this as well. It's to let people know, like, hey, we got some big brain people over here. I'm not going to lie to you. Farming is not hard. Farming and generating APYs and, picking where to allocate large amounts of money is not hard at all. And that's why you're seeing a trillion, billion ohm forks come out of the woodworks. But making profit in any market is what will differentiate people that'll make it and people that won't. And that's why you've seen other similar projects to us fall and we stay afloat. We know how to generate profits from any direction, and we will. So that long term, we do have that treasury to deploy in farming. So getting back to the point, the first main reason that we deployed an NFT fund was to, let everybody know, hey, ACYC's here, look at us, wave our hands in the air. You don't know about DeFi, we do. We're a DeFi fund, and we know more about NFTs than you. Come on, look at us, get attention. The second one is we are, not us, but our community is putting together one of the coolest, I'm not lying to you. I have seen friends of mine create NFT collections that, I think are great. Like, I would rock it as a profile picture for like a while because I want to support my friends and I buy it because it's my friends. But our community is putting together some of the coolest profile pictures I've seen. I know anybody here who's a reflector, enjoys wearing the hooded pat nut and enjoys rocking the profile pictures we put out so far. But Fruitcake, our main designer for the NFT collection, is creating some magical stuff. And we've got some more artists on the collection that I'm not going to mention, but they're going to create some amazing legendaries. And I think our collection is going to be amazing. So that brings the second point. What does Nike do? Or not even Nike. What does Adidas do when they want to drop an NFT collection? They buy a bunch of sandbox land and they say, hey guys, I'm here. Or they, buy a Bored Ape and they say, hey guys, look at me. And then what do? They launch a ginormous clothing line, clothing NFT collection. Same thing with Nike. What does Nike do when they want to get NFTs? Hey guys, we just bought out Artifact. Hey, look at us. And now everybody's looking at whatever Nike will do next. Same with anyone else you've seen. If you've seen any celebrity, release any type of NFT, they always start by paying their respects by buying an NFT and saying, "Hey guys, I have good taste. Look at me, community, please." We're humble and we like organic, but we also understand how things work. Us going around and buying strong communities, NFTs that are on a massive dip, and then releasing our own collection, to me, sounds like it makes a ton of sense. Because if I heard ACYC, or same thing with Shiba, like Shiba just released their own NFT. And think about this, like Shiba is a 10 or $13 billion token, and they released a profile picture collection, and the floor is at like 0.6 ETH. Like, why is that? Because Shiba released their collection to themselves, to their own community who aren't into NFTs. They didn't make any introduction into NFTs. They just kind of said, "Hey guys, we know you probably wanted some Shibas. Like, here you go. We make some pixelated art." The Shiba collection does not look great. It's pixelated dogs. They could have done so much better. There are so many better Shibas out there already. It just showed their lack of effort put in to, assimilating with the NFT community. And that's why it's kind of falling flat. And yes, 0.6 ETH or zero point 0.3 ETH, whatever it's at for the floor, is quite a bit of money still. But comparatively, you've got some, puffed up marshmallows that are at, 10, 100x that price. So it just shows that to, say, "Hey guys, I'm here. I've got something you guys might like. Come look at us." You kind of have to, you know, pay your respects, pay your dues, show what type of taste you have. Otherwise, it could have the chance of falling flat on its face. So that is the whole concept and thought process behind Atlas. And I think when it's laid out like that, it's kind of like one of those, "Oh my God, how does this team keep their giant brains inside that skull?" Well, now you know. So, as far as talking points go, I think that's just about everything. Bogart, is there anything that we're missing on tonight's space?
Yeah, no, I don't think we're missing anything. I can just touch on and expand on some of those points. Because I'm always engaging with the community, and I get a lot of questions and give a lot of responses. And just to address things here, people say, "Are you guys worried about where the price is with ACYC?" And my response is always the same: it's not at all. Where the price is with ACYC isn't a concern for us at all. We have a large treasury, and we've deployed our capital in a lot of places that we feel extremely confident in, that are going to allow us to reach the goals that we've set, which are, $100 million by Q1, or $10 million by Q1, $100 million next year. That goal is still there. We feel very on track for that. And so when the price goes down, we get bullish, because we think, this is going to allow more people to acquire more ACYC. This is going to let you get to 1 billion ACYC if you're at 200 million. If you're under it, you're going to get to 200 million because you want to get to the alpha room. So yeah, I mean, whatever the price action is negligible, because the treasury will remain yielding. It doesn't need the price to do anything. And big picture, it remains the same thing. ACYC is a positive feedback loop. We use the treasury to purchase our tokens and then reflect that to our holders. So we don't need volume. We don't, from external sources, we don't need anything. We just need ourselves. And that, again, it just highlights that we feel, whatever the value is on the open market is not reflective necessarily of changes to the fundamental value of ACYC. And that's something that's really important with, an investment is like, if you buy something and the price goes down, if your fundamental principles for investing in that haven't changed, you buy. And if it goes down more, you keep buying. And if it goes down more, you buy 3 times as much at the bottom. I mean, that's how you make a fortune. That's how I made money for years trading. That's how anybody does. And any successful trader knows that. Like, you invest on fundamental value. And if you were willing to buy at X price, then if it goes down to another price, you should be willing to buy twice as much. And then you profit way more. So we feel very bullish about, where we are, what we're doing behind the scenes. The price action doesn't matter. We're here to grow the community. Our holders grow all the time. The community grows all the time. The community is super strong. We're really bullish on that. Atlas, expanding into Atlas is extremely, extremely bullish. Some people didn't understand our move in NFTs, but as we said, we're about a diversified portfolio, and anyone with experience in these markets knows that, sometimes when coins are underperforming, NFTs boom. When coins are going sideways, NFTs run. And so like we're here to maximize like the amount of money that we're yielding. And so like yeah, ERC 721, like that's a token, that's a coin, and we're going to make money off of that because all coins yield capital. So you know, we have, that's the advantage of ACYC, is we have employed the very best traders of all kinds, you know, whether it's traders of tokens, traders of NFTs, what, you know, you name it. The whole principle is that we have the best people here to trade these assets and to yield capital in all market conditions. So expanding into NFTs was like a natural progression from what we were already doing because we're just trying to maximize capital. So it's great to have, you know, Nate manning the helm there. Anyone that knows Nate knows he's like the most emotionless trader. He buys blood, he sells when he wants to sell, he never looks back. And so like he won't speak to it himself as much, but you know, Nate is one of the most legendary NFT traders that there is. So having that asset and utilizing it is absolutely going to be fruitful for us in the long run, and that'll be reflected, you know, in our farming budgets, and then eventually in how much we're able to reflect to you guys. So we're just feeling really bullish, even where we are. You know, temporary price action does not matter. The road to $1 billion is clear. You know, this is the time to buy if you can, accumulate more. You know, so we're just really excited. And we're excited to be able to show that to you guys appropriately in the dashboard too. Nathan's been working really hard. A lot of people worry about it. You know, we give the updates that we can. We don't want to set too many timelines, timeframes, because you know stuff can get complicated, especially when you're dealing with, you know, data availability on the Ethereum network is not awesome. So it can be complicated, but we have a lot of good stuff coming. We're going to be updating the website even more. You can already notice a lot of changes have rolled out in the dashboard. You know, aggregating data, making it easier to read, easier to manage. Everything is just, we're feeling really bullish about it moving into the new year, and we're happy with how things have gone over this first month. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would touch on with those things. You know, as Nate said, we're profit maximalists. So this is just all about doing whatever we can to yield the most and reflect the most to you guys. So yeah, that's what I would say, Nate. I feel good about that.
Cool. Yeah. And then if anybody's looking right now, I just changed my profile picture. Our artist Fruitcake just sent this in our Discord. This is his newest creation. It should be one of the legendaries or one of the skins. The golden reflector. This is the reflector who has been here since the beginning, who has, you know, only reflected and only envisioned the great times ahead, the golden age, and is excited for the future, as excited as we are. This is the golden reflector that I'm rocking as my profile picture. And then to build off like what Bogart said about our, you know, natural progression into NFTs, if people decided that the next bull market was going to emerge in online scents, like online smells, online colognes, like if I were to create something to be like, hey guys of Reddit or hey guys of the internet, which colognes are the best? And I had some little machine in front of me that you guys could send a bunch of scents to, and I could smell your colognes and buy that shit. If that was a profitable bull market with a bunch of volume, we would be entering that. If people, you know, entered a tulip mania again and we're trading flowers for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, we would have somebody on the floor trading that. So anywhere that we can extract money, I just want to like actually just lay out real quick in 15 seconds what ACYC does. ACYC takes the money that we have and invests it in other profitable areas and then sells for a profit and puts that money back into our community. So we take money from, or we, you know, get money from our community. We go put it in the other communities that we think will prosper. And then when they prosper, we take that money back out and give it back to our community. And that's basically the, you know, how ACYC works. You're trusting advisors, operators, and other algorithms and traders to do the best with your money and then hand it back in a way, or in a sense, or reward you over time. So that's what we're going to do. That's been our vision. And as Bogart said, end of quarter 1 next year, $10 million treasury. End of the year, 100 million is in the cards. It really just depends. Cannot promise 100 million by the end of the year. But if, yeah, we can't promise 100 million if Bitcoin and Ethereum had no price fluctuations from month to month. If, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum ranged in a 5% range the entire year, that's not going to happen. There's going to be no swings to trade. But That's never what happens. We're trading volatile assets. They're going to go up, they're going to go down, and we're going to make money both ways. So, 100 million by the end of the next year is in the cards. 10 million by the end of quarter one next year is definitely in play. And we're excited to, create something that's going to take some time. It's not like I mentioned at the beginning of the space. You can look at another project or other projects that have 40 million, 100 million, whatever in their treasuries, and their market caps are not that high. But then look at where they got the money. They got the money from their holders. So we plan to be, one of the first treasuries where, we have 2 million or, 1.5 or 5 million that came from our holders. And then the next thing it's at 10, 20, $25 million without taking in more money from our holders. So yeah, this is a long game. It's not going to be replicated. It'll be a first of its kind, and you all have been here since the beginning, or you're just jumping on the ship now. Either way, this is pretty much still day one. We're still getting our website up, still getting everything rolled out. The profits are, being shared or being displayed. Like we said, 25% on a 60 Ethereum account in the last 4 days without any major risky plays or anything of that nature. So we expect to give equal or similar reports every single 4-day span, week span. Not that that's in play, because as of right now, we're going to be doing monthly reports at the end of the month. We're going to give a generalized report of everything and profits and such like that. We've heard some great community suggestions. Keep them coming. At the moment, have been a little bit busy to read all the suggestions, but some of the great ones we've heard are, a little bar Discord, where when we enter and exit a trade, maybe displays on a delayed timer how long we were in the trade, profit we made. I think that's really cool. I think we'd like to get something like that made. But at the time, our devs are, busy on some other stuff. But once they're freed up, that's something we put at the top of the queue. There's a bunch of other suggestions. Won't go through them all right now. But everything's still going on. Everything's looking amazing. I can't believe all the progress we're making in such a short period of time. I think we're like 30 days old. So we're about a month old. And in crypto, that might feel like a year, but still, if we were a baby and we were a year old, we're still at the infancy stage. Give us 10 months, we'll be 10 years old, and we'll be able to talk, walk, and show you what we can do. So I don't think we're going to take questions. I think it's been about an hour so far. And we want, like I always said, we're trying to keep these about under an hour so that when people go back, if you look at our YouTube channel, ACYC Capital YouTube, we're getting close to 1,000 views on previous spaces. So people are being able to digest them and digest them efficiently. And we want to keep it that way with, a very flowing format. We will take questions sometimes, but I don't think today's one of those. But if you have any questions, or if you want to talk to one of the, council or core team, just pop into our Discord. It's on the ACYC Capital page. And Bogart or I or one of the other team members will be happy to answer any questions you have. And then once again, look at my profile picture, golden patent reflector, Fruitcake, our graphics designer. You're amazing. Thank you for creating all of these amazing reflectors. And I think this is a good spot to end.
Yeah, I don't have really anything else to add. Just to add to say that we are feeling extremely bullish again. Where things are, I hope you guys have your bags packed. Use these opportunities. We're profit maximalists. We love to invest. That means dollar cost averaging. Buy and keep buying. Find your perfect bottom, and that'll be rewarded in time, definitely. So even us as investors in the protocol, we are really, really bullish, and I wouldn't sell a dime of ACYC. I would just be adding to my bags. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We're really excited for what's to come in the new year. It's been a really exciting month so far. A protocol like this takes time to build. So, where other things might ride hype cycles and you see them in a month and they pump and somebody calls them on Twitter and they run, that's great. We want resiliency. We want intelligent investors, and we're building that significantly. And that's already evident in our Discord, in our Telegram. The conversations that are had in there are really wonderful. A lot of gains to be had in the alpha room. So, whether or not you are a reflector and holding ACYC, whether or not you're doing that, come into the Discord, see what's up, grab some ACYC when, start building a position when you want. And we'll be in there to address any questions. So thank you guys for tuning in.